Shock waves are rippling through the global EV industry. Globe showing Europe, Africa just when everyone thought China would dominate the next generation of electric vehicles. The United States has pulled off a stunning surprise. A new breed of self-powered EVs, cars that can generate their own energy, has just been unveiled, and it's leaving China scrambling to catch up. Is this the technological turning point that flips the balance of power in the EV race? Let's dive in. For years, China has been seen as the undisputed leader in the electric vehicle revolution, producing more EVs than any other country. But America's latest breakthrough could completely rewrite the script. Imagine a car that doesn't need constant charging stops, long waits at a station, or even a massive charging infrastructure. Instead, it powers itself, forever changing the way we think about mobility. American researchers and startups, backed by major automakers, have revealed prototypes of self-sustaining EVs. These cars integrate advanced energy harvesting systems, including kinetic recovery, solar layering, and revolutionary microgenerators, that can recharge a vehicle while it's moving. In simple terms, the car creates its own fuel as you drive. No plugs, no stations, no downtime. This leap comes at a critical moment. China's EV dominance is built on its massive battery industry and its global supply of rare earth minerals. But if vehicles can generate their own power, the dependency on China's battery empire could collapse. America's move threatens to undercut the very foundation of China's EV strategy, potentially flipping the global supply chain upside down. If these self-powered EVs scale successfully, the ripple effects could be enormous. Charging infrastructure, once considered the backbone of the EV revolution, might suddenly become obsolete. Oil dependency could decline even faster. And nations competing for lithium, cobalt, and other critical minerals could find their strategies outdated overnight. Of course, questions remain. Can these vehicles be mass-produced? Will they be affordable for everyday drivers? And how will China respond? With its vast manufacturing power, China could adapt and fight back quickly. But for now, the United States has made the boldest move yet, sending a clear signal. The EV race is far from over, and the next chapter has just begun. What most people don't realize is that this U.S. breakthrough didn't happen overnight. For years, American labs and startups have been quietly experimenting with energy autonomy for vehicles. The announcement we're seeing now is just the first wave of a much bigger technological shift. Behind the scenes, an invisible arms race is unfolding, one that could decide who controls the future mobility. And China? It's not staying silent. Reports suggest Beijing is already pouring billions into similar projects, determined not to lose its grip on the EV crown. In fact, several Chinese research groups are rumored to be testing their own prototype self-powered vehicles. If America has struck first, China may soon strike back even harder, with faster production and global rollouts. The U.S., however, has something China doesn't: a network of powerful alliances with Europe, Japan, and South Korea. If these nations rally around America's breakthrough, it could form a global tech coalition capable of challenging China's EV empire directly. Think of it as the space race all over again. Only this time, the prize isn't the moon, it's control of Earth's roads. But the stakes are higher than ever. This isn't just about cars. It's about energy independence, national security, and economic dominance. A world of self-powered EVs could break oil cartels, weaken China's grip on battery supply chains, and even alter global geopolitics. Whoever leads this revolution won't just shape the auto industry. They'll reshape the world order. Already, whispers from Silicon Valley and Detroit suggest that major U.S. automakers are racing to patent new self-powering systems. Tesla, General Motors, and even lesser-known startups are fighting tooth and nail to claim ownership of the most advanced designs. Behind closed doors, secret meetings are taking place with energy giants and defense contractors, all eyeing the same prize: control of the next energy revolution. Meanwhile, across the Pacific, China is preparing a counterstrike. Insiders claim that state-owned companies have been ordered to accelerate research in microgenerator technologies and expand investments in solar integration for EVs. But China's real weapon isn't just technology, it's scale. Once it decides to mass-produce, it can flood the global market overnight, making it nearly impossible for competitors to keep up. And let's not forget the consumer. Imagine being told that your brand new EV, the one you just bought last year, has already been made obsolete by a car that never needs charging. The psychological shock will push buyers to demand the new tech instantly. Automakers who fail to adapt quickly enough could collapse under pressure, just like we saw during the smartphone revolution, when once mighty brands vanished in just a few years. This isn't just a business war. Governments are stepping in. Washington sees this breakthrough as a national security asset, one that could free America from both oil imports and reliance on foreign battery supply chains. Beijing sees it as a threat to its global dominance. The result? A technological Cold War is brewing, one fought not with missiles, but with self-powered cars. And here's the kicker. Time is running out. Whoever can commercialize self-powered EVs first will seize control of trillion-dollar markets in energy, transport, and defense. Every month, every week, even every day matters. The race isn't just between America and China anymore. It's a global sprint, and the finish line could arrive sooner than anyone expects. In Europe, the reaction is mixed. Nations like Germany and France, long invested in traditional EV infrastructure, suddenly find themselves caught off guard. Billions of euros poured into charging stations could now be at risk of becoming outdated relics. Yet, instead of retreating, European automakers like Volkswagen, BMW, and Renault are rushing to adapt, partnering with U.S. labs and quietly drafting their own prototypes of self-powered vehicles. For Europe, the choice is clear: evolve or be left behind. But the real twist may come from Africa. Long seen as a supplier of raw materials, cobalt, lithium, and rare earths, Africa suddenly finds itself in a unique position. If self-powered cars reduce dependence on these minerals, Africa's role in the EV chain could change dramatically. Yet forward-thinking African innovators are already pivoting, asking, why not leapfrog? If the continent can embrace self-powered EVs directly, bypassing the old charging and mining race, Africa could become an unexpected power player in this new era. Leaders in Riyadh, Dubai, and Tehran are watching nervously, pouring money into renewable energy and advanced tech startups as a hedge against collapse. The question is, will these nations pivot in time, or will the oil giants be dethroned by a new kind of energy empire? Meanwhile, in high-security labs, scientists are pushing the boundaries of possibility. Some prototypes use nano-coating solar skins capable of harvesting energy from even low light. Others explore kinetic induction systems that turn every rotation of the wheel into usable power. Still others experiment with miniaturized fusion-assisted generators, technology that once sounded like science fiction. Each breakthrough could tip the scales, and every government wants to be the first to claim it. But what if the real game changers aren't nations or automakers at all? Rumors are spreading about tech giants, companies like Apple, Google, and even Amazon, secretly investing in self-powered EV technology. If these corporations enter the battlefield, they could disrupt the auto industry as easily as they disrupted phones, retail, and cloud computing. The question then becomes, will the future of transportation be decided by governments, automakers, or big tech? Behind the glossy headlines, another battle is raging in the shadows. Intelligence agencies in Washington and Beijing are quietly mobilizing, aware that whoever controls self-powered EV technology controls the future of transportation, energy, and warfare. Reports have already surfaced of attempted cyber intrusions targeting American EV startups. At the same time, whispers in the Pentagon suggest fears of industrial espionage, Chinese operatives attempting to steal prototypes before they ever reach the market. And it's not just governments. Corporations themselves are playing dirty. Imagine a world where billions of dollars hinge on delaying a competitor's launch by just 6 months. Rumors are spreading of sabotaged supply chains, infiltrated labs, and leaked patents. The self-powered EV race isn't just innovation, it's survival. For some companies, losing could mean financial extinction. Legal teams are also sharpening their weapons. In U.S. courts and international tribunals, patent battles are heating up. Every company claims it owns the core technology behind self-sustaining energy systems. Some patents overlap, others are vague, and the legal chaos could drag on for years. Yet while lawyers argue, engineers push forward, knowing full well that the real war won't be won in courtrooms, but in factories and on highways. And as tensions rise, the world edges closer to a technological standoff. What began as a race to build better cars has spiraled into something far larger, a clash of ideologies. Will the future of mobility be led by America's push for independence, China's drive for dominance, or a surprise third player waiting in the wings? Nations are choosing sides, corporations are staking their futures, and the world's consumers are holding their breath. One thing is certain, the age of self-powered vehicles isn't coming. It's already here. And as the U.S. and China lock horns, the rest of the world is dragged into the most high-stakes technological contest since the space race. But unlike the race to the moon, this one won't end with a flag planted in silence. It will end with billions of lives forever changed. What the public sees are flashy car reveals and press conferences. But what they don't see is a silent war raging across cyberspace. Hackers, both state-sponsored and freelance, are targeting research labs, automakers, and even government energy agencies. In the dark web, secret auctions are rumored to be selling stolen schematics of self-powered EV prototypes, blueprints worth billions, traded like contraband in hidden corners of the internet. And it's not just the U.S. and China anymore. Rogue states, isolated from the global economy, see this as their chance to break free. Imagine a small nation suddenly fielding self-powered vehicles, no fuel imports, no reliance on foreign batteries. Intelligence reports hint that North Korea and Iran have been actively hunting for stolen EV data, desperate to leapfrog decades of technological lag in one daring move. Inside the boardrooms of the world's biggest automakers, trust is crumbling. Partnerships once formed in good faith are being shattered as companies accuse each other of double-dealing. Executives resign under mysterious circumstances. A sudden stock crash here, a suspicious factory fire there. Signs that the corporate war has spilled out of shadows. It's no longer about innovation alone. It's about survival by any means necessary. Meanwhile, new alliances are quietly forming. Leaked documents suggest that European and Japanese automakers are discussing a secret pact, pooling their research to keep from being crushed by the U.S.-China rivalry. At the same time, whispers circulate of African startups exploring deals with Middle Eastern investors to build localized self-powered EV hubs. If these alliances succeed, the power structure of the auto industry could fracture into unexpected blocks. The stage is set for a confrontation unlike anything the automotive world has ever seen. Governments are mobilizing, corporations are scheming, hackers are circling, and consumers are demanding answers. The question isn't the world will change, it's how violently that change will arrive. And somewhere behind closed doors, the first self-powered EV ready for mass production is waiting to be unleashed. Months of rumors, espionage, and secret deals have led to this moment, the world's first public launch of a mass-market self-powered EV. The unveiling takes place in California, under the glare of cameras, satellites, and spies. As the car rolls onto the stage, running without a plug, without a charging port, without even a hint of traditional dependence, the crowd erupts. What once seemed like science fiction has become reality. Within hours, markets across the globe react in chaos. Oil prices tumble, lithium stocks crash, and traditional automakers scramble to announce their own versions of the technology. China issues a statement vowing to respond with an even more advanced design. Europe calls for urgent cooperation. Africa celebrates the chance to leapfrog into a new energy future. The Middle East braces for an economic storm. The shockwave spreads like wildfire. And in that single moment, humanity crosses a threshold. The gas pump, the charging station, the endless debates about range anxiety, they all become relics of the past. The automobile, once a symbol of dependence, is reborn as a symbol of freedom. But freedom comes at a cost. A new race for dominance, a new scramble for power, a new chapter in the eternal struggle between nations, corporations, and people. The age of self-powered cars has arrived. The United States may have shocked the world by moving first, but the war for the future has only just begun. And as the dust settles, one truth becomes clear. Whoever controls this technology won't just control the roads, they'll control the future itself. The Auto Tech, where innovation meets the road. The future of mobility starts here, only on the Auto Tech. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about Elon Musk, Maxwell, Tesla, and the future of innovation. Until next time, keep imagining the impossible